What's going on? Oh, oh, wait. Yeah. Wait, what, hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to talk to you guys about a review. Yes. Uh-huh. Shut up. And that is going to be on SUSHANG. I wanted to review her because it's kind of awkward. Like, well, not that it's awkward, but obviously she's on the banner with Jing Yuan. You have SUSHANG, you have Teen Young, and then you have March 7th. Now, I already did March 7th a while ago, and I was like, wow, if I would have got a couple more EDs on her, it would have been nice. I think, like I said, up to the 4. But what happens when you get a bunch of SUSHANG? I feel like she's, not that she's figured out, I definitely will do her afterwards, but I feel like a lot of people are kind of sleeping on SUSHANG. Like, she actually does a ton of damage, but you have to do it in a specific order. So let's go do that. There she is, that stance. Check the stance. All right, so what does she do? Now, I'll say that this is pretty basic, right? And then this one, it gets a little crazy on the E. Ultimate's pretty base. Okay, it's not. All right, so let's just go to the talent, which I usually want to do, but the talent doesn't really make, it doesn't make the most sense. But when an enemy has their weakness broken on the field, SUSHANG's speed increases by 16% for 2 turns. Break effect is increased by 40%. Nice. So pretty much she's a character where she actually does a ton of damage, but you need the character to be broken. Sorry, you need the enemy to be broken. So then the basic attack is just basic. There's nothing special to it. But then you have the skill, the Mountain Fall. It deals physical damage. She's a physical damage dealer. She's also from the Hunt. Based off her attack to a single enemy. In addition, there's a 33% chance to trigger Sword Stance on the final hit. I used to think that this was a follow-up attack, but it is not. It's just dealing additional physical damage equal to 50% of her attack to that enemy. Now, if the enemy is afflicted with weakness break, the Sword Stance is guaranteed to trigger. So pretty much you 100,000 jillion% want to do that. You want to trigger it, so there's no 33%. It's just an extra hit, and it's going to happen, right? These are some of her traces, and her EDs. We'll go over that later. Next up is her ultimate, which is really, really important, and it's how you're going to eke out that damage with her. Deals physical damage equal to a percentage of her attack to a single enemy, and immediately advances her action forward by 100%. Now, what you want this to do, let me just finish reading it, sorry. In addition, SUSHANG's attack is increased by 20%, and using her skill has 2 extra chances to trigger Sword Stance for 2 turns. Sword Stance triggered from extra is 50% of the original damage. We already know that because we figured this, right? So you're basically trying to go ultimate into skill. That is basically all they're trying to tell you. That's how you want it. So if you could possibly have it, you want the ultimate to break it. Or if they're already broken, you can ultimate into the E and then hit with the skill. You could do that as well. We already read the talent, and then her technique just does a physical damage to them. Actually, like the animation of it, I'll definitely show you guys later. So here it is. Here's her basic attack. Nice little swoop. Shape of Taisha. And this is the ultimate. I'm going to show you like the thing. So now you could obviously kill off one of these, but like it's just kind of pointless to do it. And then boom, we're going to do it. I don't understand it. And it does look like Rise Penis. I don't know. It's just a really weird thing. So now she has all her little boosties. Her 20% attack increase. She champion, that's the relics that she has on. And she has the speed. She has the damage boost. She's ready to go. And then you pop the E on someone that's damage broken already. And those are the extra hits that it's talking about. So this is what its standard is without the ultimate. It's just one little hit. So only after you use the ultimate do you have the ability to actually do that cycle, right? Another thing that I like is that since her ultimate gives her 100%, it basically gives her another turn. You don't want to, like, one of the things that you might want to do is like E, get the ultimate, then alt, and then E again. But you'll get your turns immediately. So it's a really crazy, cool damage bursting that you can do. And here we'll actually do it correctly. Boom. And multiple hits there. That's what you're looking for. Now, another thing I don't have it, maybe I should have did it, is that, like, you can have her go here, right? I have a bunch of mana stocked up. So, let's say you have other characters like Ting Young, you have Asta, you have other characters that are going to give you, Branya, another good example, that are going to give you boost. You can do your E here or whatever, or if you need to, make sure that you have enough, make sure you have enough skills for it. But that's what's really going to come in, it's going to become really important when it comes down to them already being broken or not. But that's really the gist of her. She's not like crazy, like hard to implicate. But I thought that before when I was reading her stuff that it made it easier for her to do shield breaks, to do breaks. But that's actually not how it's written. And that's another good option, by the way. A good thing to note is that if they're not already broken, and you break them with the E or the skill, it will, at least every time I've done it, it actually does the follow up. So now you can see her turn is all the way down here. We're gonna pop it. Hit this guy, why not?
It's time.
And you can see she immediately gets the turn.
No more playing nice.
Now with the extra boost, all those little hits. And it's based, remember, the damage is it's based off the damage that E initially does. So the higher that damage is, the more damage you're gonna do with her. So obviously, again, like a lot of these characters, you want them to be super, she's a damage dealer, you need her to be leveled the hell up, right? First, I'm gonna start off with the traces, right? So we have this, a bonus ability. After using the basic attack or skill, if there are enemies on the field with weakness break, she's advanced forward even more. So she has ways to definitely lap and take turns. These are obviously Ascension 6. You're going to take you a while to even see these, right? When the current HP percentage is 50% or lower, reduces the chance of being attacked. That's just a nice to have. I wouldn't even like struggle quickly to get that. There's other characters that you probably have in your team that's going to take aggro. This one, for every sword stance trigger, the damage dealt by sword stance increases by 2%. The fact that I don't have that unlocked right now actually disturbs me. That is, you definitely want that, especially for long battles. So you can have a 20% damage boost on that sword stance damage. Yeah, you definitely need that. I don't come here usually. I come here when I'm looking to do the actual review. That's super important. Like, it's insanely important. And then obviously here you can level up these things. So you definitely want to have, the skill damage pushed up, because like the ult makes it that it does that. So you definitely want to level this up. Both of these things go up, right? So the initial skill damage goes up and the secondary damage goes up. So you definitely want to level that up as much as you can possible. Obviously the talent only gives you more speed. And the way that, I don't know, it's weird how speed is translated in this game. It is about going first and second, but it also like gives you extra turn. And then as you read this now, when you get deeper into the character, you're going to get more turns. So she's going to be taking turns on turns on turns on turns, which is really, really cool. And next up, we have to go over to the EDDs, and this is where it starts to get spicy. I love this. Cut with ease. After using skill against a weakness broken enemy, you recover a skill point. So that, to me, and it doesn't have a turn, you can't keep doing it. So as long as you are using it on a skill, a weakness broken enemy, she literally, it won't cost her anything. So it's like, do it, just do it. It doesn't matter. I think that if there's any reason that her E1, phenomenal. It's going to help the entirety of your team when she's doing that. And as long as your team is nice and diverse and can weakness break everyone that is that she's against, you just have her always use her E, and it means absolutely nothing to you. So I think that's amazing. Next up, after triggering sword stance, the damage taken by SUSHANG is reduced by 20, which is weird when you saw the other one. She takes it, you're trying to have her not get hit at all. But if there's AoE, that is another thing. If there is AoE damage or something like that, 20% less damage for one turn is pretty good. Obviously, after a turn is going. And also for the fact that you're going to keep cycling and dropping your skill over and over and over again, perfectly fine. As you guys know, ultimate talent goes up. This one, SUSHANG's break effect increases by 40%. Now, we all know that break effect just makes that it does more damage when you do the break, plus the damage over time that's attached to it. I think that I wish that there was one that said that she does additional damage to the break bar, like something that gave her that passive so that it's easier for her to achieve that. It would make her absolutely busted, I know it, but it is what it is. But this is pretty good. That's really strong. This one allows you to get the skill in the basic. Obviously, you definitely want this for the skill. So I I feel like it might be smarter for me to summon some more on Jin Yuan's banner just to maybe get to that, so I have a really strong version. The E5 is actually important. A lot of the times the 3 and the 5 are not too crazy, but it actually really is important to like how she works. And last but not least, if you go to the depths of the depths, talent speed boost is stackable and can stack up to 2 times. Additionally, after entering battle, SUSHANG immediately gains a stack of her talents passive, which is whatever how high it is. Right now mine's at 16, so that allows her to obviously take more turns. And like I said, as long as your weakness bring it. Now if you're going against like big bosses and you are not, you know, it's like it's a little bit harder to break them because they're big bosses, I feel like that's where she kind of slacks. Her damage is going to slack off by a lot. Meanwhile, they have other characters that are doing good damage regardless. But it really depends on how much investment you have into the character, obviously. So let's go over to El Lyconi. As I mentioned before, she is the hunt. So what is the best blue in slot? Maybe this one, because it gives you crit rate. And then if you're crit damaging and the way that that thing scales, it's based off the damage you do. So if you have something to give you some free crit, I guess it is blue. 24% free crit rate in the first couple turns. That's not that bad. The other two are like you have to kill something, and unless you're farming, fine. Obviously this one's good and the other one gives her speed, so yeah, that's okay. But I do think that the overall better one is going to be this one. But obviously after 3 turns you basically have a wasted slot. Not the best options here for the blues. Let's check out the purples. Let's see what the best purple should be. Best in slot. Oh, I actually like this one. River Flows in the Spring. Gives her additional speed, right? Percentage-based speed and additional damage. Great. When the wearer takes damage, it goes away, but it eventually comes back. So as long as she's cycling, taking turns, but as long as she's untouched, unhindered, you know, this is pretty good. She actually gets free speed, so she'll take extra turns, and at the same time, she'll also just do extra damage. And more damage is always good. Let's check out the other one, see what else we got here. Oh, this is the one she's on, so this is the one you're supposed to, it should be good, right? For each time the wearer hits the same target, damage dealt increases by 8%, stacking up to 5 times. This effect will dispel when the wearer changes target. That is actually really good, going up to 16. That does make sense for her, because she should be hitting the same target at least twice, right? To, one, break them herself, and then also to follow up damage on them. So yes, that is actually a really good one for her. Which is weird is that this is her holding Lucha, whatever his name is, his weapon, which is funny. Maybe she gets his weapon later. This I like slightly, but not like increases the damage. Straight up damage, especially on level 1, is kind of crazy. Going up to 48% on the skill, which is great. Now it does do extra when the wearer's current energy reaches its max level. Now I don't know, I would have to have this. I do not have it, so it would have to tell me. If you do the E and then like it gives you the max, does it do the extra damage that way? I'm assuming not. You have to be holding on to it. But like I said, if she does have ult, you can still, with this in mind, with subscriber for more in mind, hit him with the skill, right? And you'll then ult afterwards, right? You could do that too, like, but that, because that's a lot of damage that you can have the skill do. Or you could just sit on it and then try to go for the burst, but you'll still always have the skill doing extra damage. Especially the one after the ult will be doing crazy amount of damage with subscriber more. So I definitely like that one, and I think I hate this one. Yes, I do. Dispelling debuffs, yeah, I don't care. Last but not least, the yellows. So right now, I'd say Rivers Flow, Swordplay, and then Subscriber More, definitely the best purples you want to run, depending on which ones you have. And this is why, by the way, I always give options, because not everyone has everything, and you can't get everything as soon as you want it. So that's why I give options. In the Night, if you have it, still pretty good, even if it's not on Seele, because that's just good, right? You get free crit rate when the wearer is in battle for every 10 speed. Now, what's specifically good about it is that SUSHANG actually has speed buffs in her kit. So does Seele, but that's why they've always been compared, but they have very similar kits to do extra damage. The basic attack skill does increase damage and increase crit damage. Ult damage goes up. Everything goes up. Damage, pretty good. I think the other one that's decently outside of that would be the Sweet Dreams, because you get crit damage regardless, and yes, it says if your basic attack and crit doesn't go up, your crit rate increases by a lot more, allowing you to potentially eventually hit the crit. I know some people don't like that, but it's still decent though. It allows you what I like to call relic relief. You don't have to worry about your stats on your relics as much, because your light cone is going to assist you with that, right? Relic time. I actually was I have all the basic relics now, so I can just do in this screen. Increases physical damage by 10% after the wearer attack or is attacked. Their attack is increased, right? Cool. For the rest of the battle, right? So this is pretty cool. You can get a 25% attack increase pretty much for free. So that's a decent one, I think, to have on. I kind of like this one. Increases the break effect. She already has in her EDs, right, or Eidolons, that there's something with the break effect as well, making it even higher. But I like this one to also increase the wearer's break effect by another 16%. When the wearer inflicts weakness break on an enemy, they regenerate 3 energy. But this is obviously more for an AoE person and for farming. But I thought I'd mention it, especially because in this one, this 2-set, you could just put it in a 2-set. Increase the wearer's break effect when the wearer's speed is a certain amount. The wearer's break effect is increased by another 20. You could just put it in a 2-piece set if you really want to. And then what's the energy regeneration? It's kind of important for her too. We said the wearer's action is for that second part is just trash, but the energy regeneration part is pretty good. This one's not that bad also because it's based off how fast your speed is. And there's 2 of them that I'm missing. Hold on, I'm about to just see what those other 2 are. Oh no, this is the best. What the hell? I skipped over this one for some reason. Increase the wearer's crit damage by 16% when the wearer's crit damage reaches higher than 120 or higher after the crit rate is increased until the end of their first attack. So it's a way to get burst out, but at least you get free crit damage, right? That's not that bad. Then the other one was the crit rate one that I saw. Oh yeah, and check out her freaking technique. I love this. This looks really cool. I like it. Looks pretty cool. Anywho, that's gonna be it for me. Great character. I do think that you have to have, well, especially if you know what you're fighting, right? I guess it's like, oh, I'm fighting this. I know I'm fighting, physical fire, maybe, and you have that, which you're doing that anyway, and it's just a nice thing. Again, nobody has every single character, every single light code and stuff like that. You got to do what you got to do. She's a really good damage dealer, and she has a ton of damage, and you just have to be set it up. I've seen her, mine's done a ton of damage, and mine's not invested in like that much at all. So imagine someone that's actually farming and stuff like that, puts some work into her. Yeah. Oh boy. And I really like her. I started to really enjoy her ever since I wanted to put the MC character as fire. So she is my physical damage dealer. When I want to go physical, I don't switch back to the main character with the bat. I just use her, and she works phenomenally. Especially because mine has the thing where she sword stances, she takes reduced damage. She survives a lot longer than some of my other characters, especially some of my other damage dealers. Like Don Hong dies like every 2 seconds. So that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I didn't mean to do that.